Hello, hello, hello to all of you out there, astrology lovers. Welcome to another video here, a weekly horoscope, or you could say the horoscope of the new moon of in Sagittarius that you will see or feel or whatever on the around about the 6th, the 7th of December. We have a new moon in Sagittarius, and we are now today, the 27th, I think, of November. So the energies are starting to, to progress, and you start feeling the energies of that new moon already. That is going to be around about the time, not only when there is this new moon in Sagittarius, but also when Mercury, who is in Sagittarius, will start going direct as well. So this is a very significant thing. It means that it's not only a new moon, it's also Mercury going direct and round about the same day. So this is going to give us at least some insights. Now, we have a new moon every once in a year in Sagittarius. So what does it mean? It means that the sun and the moon, they join together in the sign of Sagittarius. And if this is not a Sagittarius thing, then I wanted to put out the blackboard, but it was a bit, it didn't work out. But anyways, I'm working on it because I love a blackboard instead of a white one. Anyways, now what I wanted to show is at 15 degrees, approximately 15 degrees of Sagittarius, we will have this new moon. And I'll talk about in general first what it means, and then for every sign I break it down for Aries up until Pisces. But there's something very significant about this new moon, and that is that it's, of course, this is ruled by Jupiter, because the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is also, during the new moon, it's also in Sagittarius. It's a bit earlier, but it's conjunct. We call this a conjunction. And what's happening is that there is a square, we call it a square, which is tension, but it means that two energies are one energy is going to the right and the other energy is going to the left, but we need to balance it out. So all this energy is squaring up with Mars and Neptune in Pisces. Also around about 13, 14 degrees of Pisces. So this is the whole picture in a nutshell, what's going on with this new moon. It's not just a new moon in Sagittarius. It's a very Jupiterian kind of new moon because its ruler is involved and because the other Jupiterian sign, which is Pisces, is in a square to it. So it all is related to each other. Now, what does it mean? Let's break it down, this kind of information. Well, it means that around about that time, there will come an energy of some sort of a new beginning, because that's what a new moon is. It's about endings and new beginnings. It's a perfect timing to start something new. And because Jupiter here is involved, Jupiter means meaning and purpose and hope. So it's a good time to start something new that is meaningful, that is hopeful, that you find meaningful. I mean, that's for everyone else different. One person can find it meaningful to start a family. Another person in their particular point of life, they can find it meaningful to study, and another to work and to earn money, etc., etc. So that's one thing. It's about finding things meaningful. And this Jupiter exaggerates everything. So, I mean, it's a very expansive planet. So it means that this new beginning can be quite a big thing, actually, and a huge thing. So it's very much that has to do with optimism. So the good thing about Sagittarius is optimism, seeing the bigger picture, feeling that you are alive. And of course, I want you to focus on these things. The pitfall of Sagittarius is being very preachy. I hope, like what I'm doing here, with this one. And very preachy would be you should do this and you should do that. If people start saying that around that time, just don't listen. And so that's the downside of Sagittarius, wanting to be preachy and because they are so full of their ideas and they want to share it, it's a mutable sign. All of this energy is mutable. So it means that it's very lively, and it's going to be a very busy kind of energy that we are going to sense. So on the one hand, it's not a very bad new moon, because it means for everyone there's some new start. And as I said, I'll break it down what kind of field you are gonna feel it. And a new start that has to do also with exploring, with adventure, and of course also with learning by experience. So the Sagittarian, they want to learn immediately, and they want to get the experience, and that's how they grow the fastest. Now, this all squares up to Mars-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Now, what is this all about? Again, all these things are not good or bad. It's what we make out of it. So a Mars conjunct Neptune in itself, it is very, in Pisces, is extremely feeling like. It's extremely like this, you know, like a fish that goes like this, and it's extremely non-decisive. So people who have, for instance, in their natal chart Mars in Pisces, they probably understand this to the fullest, that in their doing, because Mars is about doing, so in their doing, they are not really firmly decisive from the start. So it's like almost like if you would be a surgeon and you have the Mars in Pisces, for instance, you kind of decide what you're gonna do at the very moment that you're operating and that you're seeing what's happening. So and then you go by your intuition and what you feel. You would say, oh, this is terrible. It's not. It's a way of experiencing and a way of doing. And I think very often people who are like a surgeon and who are having, because there are lots of surgeons with Mars and Pisces, they kind of have a field or attracted a field where they have to do that. You know, sometimes they can only know what they're gonna do. Of course, now it's all advanced, but sometimes they just can know what really they need to do when they see and when they are operating. So a Mars in Pisces person is not really like strategic and from the start, like a Mars in Virgo, for instance, they know from the start what they're doing. They kind of have it all pointed out strategically. No. So what it means is that it is a time now. It's not always a time, but now it is a time to act and to go with that Mars in Pisces, which is a bit going with the flow and going with your intuition. So like a football player, for instance, who would have a Mars in Pisces, he would not going to be someone who's going to strategically look at all the passes that he gives. No, he's going on the field and he goes with the flow. That's the Mars in Pisces person. Is that good or bad? No, it's nothing to judge about here, but it's what the universe, God if you like, or our higher self if you like, wants us to do at that particular time. So Mars in Pisces is very particularly about an energy of, I always have to think about those videos about Alan Watts. You know, those videos about Alan Watts, it's you know, is he a philosopher or he's some sort of a, I see it as a philosophy that he has that, you know, when we want something, which is Mars, you just kind of put the intention there and you're not fully, I want this and this exactly first, this step, then this step. You're just driving when you kind of accept what's going on and just go with the flow, basically. That's what he's saying. And it's kind of that energy that we're in. Is that good or bad? For some people, this is going to be extremely frustrating. For who? Well, the people who are natally very strongly decisive. And people who are strong-willed, this is not the best energy for them because they are going to get frustrated, especially when their will is not aligned with the will of the universe. But people who are already a bit like that, who are already, as a temperament, who are a bit going with the flow and who know that they cannot control the universe, people like that, they kind of have a bit more ease with this energy, although they can go over the point. And then we go towards being passive, so to speak. I'm not saying that people with Mars in Pisces are passive, but going too much in this energy, you're getting passive. You're just waiting till something happens, and then you say, oh, I did this because he or she made me do it. That kind of energy. You don't want that either. So expect energy to come that is very difficult to control. That especially when it comes to our actions, don't expect that everything will go by the book. Because Mars is also with Neptune, which is a bit of a double whammy there, that you could say the actions that we are wanting to take, it's better to let us guide by intuition and also by being very much connected to the universe, and to our higher self. If you don't believe in God or in the universe, to your higher self, because Mars conjunct Neptune, the pitfall is that you have no boundaries and that you sacrifice and that you're trying to rescue people. You don't want to get into that because you're going to drown. And another thing is that you don't want to get that highly frustrated either. So the best attitude that with this kind of energy is going a bit with the flow and seeing what the options are, because therefore it's a great energy. All this energy is about options. All this energy is about fate. It's about belief, and it's about possibilities. It's like parallel universes. We're going to feel like we're in a parallel universes. This road is possible, and this one is possible, and this one is possible. But sometimes that's a good thing, so that we can see things a little bit broader. So for people who are a bit stuck there, if you say, yeah, I feel a bit stuck, you're getting opportunities here to see different ways. And you don't have to take each and every way, but at least you can have a look at what it is all about. And later on, when this energy is over, and this energy will be completely over, let's say around the end of December. It's having its peak around the 7th of December, but it's really ending this energy of, going to the left, going to the right, which way do I have to take? This is over around Christmas time, and I already said it in other videos. So hang on there. If you have to make very important decisions, again, this is not the ideal energy, because today you think this way and tomorrow you think another way. So it's very unstable, it's very mutable energy, but it's as long as you are not fighting against it, you can get the most out of it, which is that options. And it's a bit like Tai Chi or those martial arts, people who've got Mars with Neptune in their natal horoscope. Quite often there are dancers, or they are, especially in Pisces, or there are martial arts practitioners. Why? Because they have to go with the flow, Is it in Tai Chi, or what is it called? That energy comes to you, someone wants to fight to you, and you kind of use their energy to avoid it or to turn it around. All these kind of magical things there that you can use. This is what it's all about, this energy. It's about not wanting to control the energy, but having a very slight intention there. That's it. Not wanting to control what you want to do, but having that slight intention, and then you go with the flow, but very slight intention. That's how you can use this energy at its best. And so it's very interesting energy. And it's energy about you want to hold your integrity there. Why? Because what Mars with Neptune on the pitfall side, so to speak, can do things that are not really, justifiable, or how do you say that? So watch out for when things look a bit, this is not really right, just don't do it, Are the same if people are offering you some kind of things that you think, oh, this is too good to be true, just keep your hands off and wait a little bit out after this energy is over. If you still if this energy is over and you still think this is too good to be true, okay, go for it, but not really during this energy. And the best way to use it is to be, as I said, open, creative. This is a tremendous good energy for people who work in the creative world, who are artists, this is the positive side of Mars Neptune. It's doing something that you are like gifted, that you are inspired by something that is bigger than you. So for inspiration, for everything that is creative, expressive, this is amazing energy. Like making videos, for instance, or if you're someone who makes videos, or if you're someone who has to write something or whatever, or maybe you're a programmer, an IT specialist, and you have to use your imagination to find new analyzers or whatever. This can be fantastic energy because it gives you that creative flow. So therefore it's a very good energy. But it's not easy to handle when you are trying to control it. So don't control it, basically. That's what I want to say here. Another thing is, if you want to do something, which is Mars, and at its best level with Neptune, do something for the collective and without expecting something back. Now, this is also a very good time to do so. And of course, we are around that Christmas time, and at Christmas of course, not everyone is celebrating that, but it's a bit that energy for a lot of people. But what I'm trying to say here is Mars with Neptune, if again people have this natally, or Mars in Pisces, they kind of thrive when they're doing something for other people and not for their own self, and not expecting something back. If you can do that, you will get a lot back. So if you can do something for the collective, and let's say, for instance, that you want to start a YouTube channel, and you want to do videos because you want to have more selling of the services that you're doing. Then I would suggest you to do the videos just because you love to do the videos and just love to give information, for instance, to the public, and not by wanting any money out of it. You see what I mean? Not for your own sake, but for the sake of other people, just doing something without expecting the return. That's the positive side of Mars Neptune, and that's how people will get rewards when they're doing it. But that doesn't mean to say that you've got to sacrifice yourself. You know, you see, again, everything has a good side and a bad side, but the more conscious you are of the positivity of this energy, the less, the faster you're gonna say, oh, I have to watch out that I'm not just totally spending all my time on making this video, for instance, and all the rest is falling apart. You see what I mean? The pitfall of this energy is sacrifice, and is walking over each other's boundaries. So this is a bit of a tricky energy on that particular pitfall kind of case. But all in all, wow, what an opportunity for us to find new things to do. And especially when you're a bit in a rut, this is very good energy. I'm going to make another video now where I will be breaking it down into all the different signs. So enjoy this time. And again, as I said, the most important thing is to see different options and to start implementing them after, let's say, the 25th to 26th of December, if you can, of course. And if you want to know more, just get in touch, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy this very, very lively, adventurous kind of energy. Now, up to the other video.